Okay, well, hey everybody, Christopher here. Thanks for checking out the video. This one in particular is a little bit different than the videos I typically record and produce and put on this channel. However, I have come across something that I think is important enough and valuable enough that I would really be amiss to not share it on this channel as it relates to sports, but also life and wellness. And so I'm just really over the moon about it. And so I wanted to create a video to throw on this channel about it. So I've got here my buddy Kyle Kimbro, and I'm really excited to have him join me. He's actually responsible for my exposure to what we're talking about. And so wanted to kind of hear from the horse's mouth. But before we do, what we're talking about is a stem cell reactivating patch, essentially. And so it's called the X39 patch, and it's gaining steam. And I've already experienced some firsthand testimonies myself about its capability to do what it claims to do. And so I really have full confidence in it. So I wanted to hear from Kyle. He has a lot of experience in the sports world in general. He's a college, ex-college athlete, and also has a lot of experience with this product in particular. I say a lot of experience. It's kind of new. It's about a month in, but it's gone so fast that it's consumed us because it's that exciting and important. And so, Kyle, tell us kind of who you are, what your sports background is. Moved off to Florida because the coast was calling. Used to be here in Central Texas with us,
Yeah.
where we met. And so, love to just kind of hear your background and maybe some of your sports history.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, Chris. Honored to be on here. Yeah, used to be y'all's neighbors. And sad to have moved away from y'all. I was born and raised in Kyle, Texas. Played ball at Hayes and did everything really. Did football, basketball, baseball, and track my entire high school career. And then my dream was to play college football. I was able to do that. So I went to the Naval Academy and played for 3 years until I blew ACL, MCL, PCL, and meniscus on one hit in my right knee.
Well,
And
don't go halfway if you're going to do something, right?
man, do it all, right? So tried to come back from that and then blew my shoulder. So had an AC separation, which led to a rotator cuff tear. And so just kind of been a mess, honestly. But yes, my name's Kyle. My wife, Joe, and I moved to Florida. We lived in the panhandle of Florida, moved here 2.5 years ago, and have 2 kiddos, Ryder and Paisley. And man, we love the balls. So I'm sad to not be living by y'all anymore, but happy we can do something like this together.
Right. Well, you and I have lifted our share of weights next to each other.
Yeah.
And one thing I've always noticed is that you, because primarily your shoulder injury, have been very limited in what you can lift, how much you can lift, what exercises you can do. And so I know you had talked about some plans, maybe potentially to try to help some of that,
Yeah, for sure.
but you may have new plans.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to hear maybe about some of those injuries.
Yeah, well, I mean, great question. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm very limited. You never even knew about my knee because I never did anything leg-wise because I couldn't because my knee hurt so bad. Yeah. And then, yeah, shoulder was very limited. In fact, I'm 30-something pounds down from when I played in college, and it's strictly because I cannot hardly lift or work out. So anyways, I'm looking into, Chris, exactly what you just said. I'm looking into stem cells. I've had some people that have had a lot of success with stem cells, not everyone, but some people that have actually got injected with it. And I started looking into it, and I went to a guy and had him evaluate my knee and my shoulder. And he said, hey, I think we can help you, but you're going to need about 10 injections, probably 5 in each. And I said, okay. And he goes, now each injection is $6,500.
Sheesh.
And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. So what else, and how I fell into LifeWave with the X39 patches, I've known Devin and Sarah Robinson, who are in Florida here with us. I've known them for 15 years, and my wife's known them for almost 25. And they've been involved with LifeWave for over 2 years. And they always have a patch. They're talking about a patch. But Chris, I never paid any attention to it. Every time we were together, I just didn't even think about it. Well, I called Devin that day, and I said, Devin, what the heck's this patch? Doesn't it have something to do with stem cells, And that's what led to where we are. And I'll tell you, his 30 seconds on what it did, it blew me away, which is why I immediately ordered patches and got on the patch. He said, Kyle, listen to me. When you're 30 years old, half your stem cells are dormant. When you're 60, they're almost all dormant. When you're injured, it's horrible, right? It's even worse. And so he said, here's what it does for you. Just like when you go into the sun and vitamin D, right? We get vitamin D from the sun through what's called phototherapy or light therapy. Now, all humans, plants, and animals emit light. which is if you've ever looked through a night vision scope or a thermal imaging scope, which
Uh-huh.
I know you have at my house, Chris. We've seen
That's
we've seen
right.
that.
We look at our share of pigs through that thing.
Yes, we have. You see that we glow, we emit light,
Right.
right? And so all this patch does is all it does is capture some of that light that we emit through phototherapy, aka light therapy. It
Right.
raises GHC copper peptides in our body. And when Devin said that, I was like, I was just with my buddy that literally was shooting up GHC copper peptides because they're
Wow.
so good for you. And he said when those copper peptides are elevated, your dormant stem cells start to reactivate. Period. That's all I needed. Yes, there's 180 patents. Yes, there's 80 double-blind clinical studies. Yes, the patents are global.
All this credibility, right?
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah. So, so you ordered some, put them on, and what's been your
Yeah.
experience?
Yeah, this little patch right here. Yeah,
Yep.
so for me, I mean, there's a lot of things. So originally, I have more energy and I'm sleeping better than I've ever slept in my life. And I can attest to that because I wear one of these guys every day, this Whoop, which tracks everything about my body. So I know when I sleep, I know my resting heart rate, I
Yep.
know my heart rate variability, I know how many hours, I know how much REM sleep, how much deep, how much light. And it's funny, Joe posted just the other day, I've been on these patches now for 5 weeks and all of my levels are off the charts. When I say off the charts, I mean not even comparable, like up 20 to 40% or down 20 to 40%, depending on what we're measuring and what needs
Right.
to go
Right.
in what direction.
And
So I'm sleeping
that's all
better.
you've changed. I mean,
This is the only thing I've changed.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. This is the only thing I've changed.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
X39. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
So that's amazing. And then as I went on runs, I told Joe, I was like, this is the real test. Granted, it takes, 97% of people have a testimony after 90 days. So I was a little, ahead of the game going, well, I've been on 5 days. I'm going to go on a run. And I went on a run and my knee didn't hurt. And I thought, that's in my head. So
Yeah.
3 days later, I
You're
go on
okay.
another run. My knee doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Today, my nephew's in from Texas. He came back with us, and we're lifting, and we're doing chest, and we're doing tries. And I can do things with him right now that I could not do, Chris, when we used to work out for years and years and years. I literally couldn't physically do, and I can do them now. This is the only thing I've changed.
Wow. Yeah, because what I can say about you is that you've been more disciplined than the average bear when it comes to dietary health and conscientiousness and bedtime and sleep and all of that and hydration, seeing you guzzle bottles of water. And so it's not like you started all these other health things that, by the way, are helpful anyway in life. It's not a magic patch that just, you can be a complete slob and expect, to have incredible results like that. I mean, you can help yourself in life by doing some things, but you're already doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I've witnessed it firsthand. So you made this one change and now your knee pain is significantly improved. Your shoulder pain is significantly improved. And these stories are bombarding from everywhere.
Oh.
I mean, I'll be honest with you and say that when you first told me about this, I believed it because you have high credibility with me. And I did my research online and it's all secondhand testimonies because I don't know any of these people, but I don't have any reason to not believe them. But there's still something in my heart that says, even though it's patented, even though it all looks like it checks all the boxes, my own confidence and credibility will go up when I have personal experiences, whether it's me, whether it's my loved ones, my family, even guys like you that are close to me. And that's all coming in. In fact, I posted on an Instagram story this morning about 3 different occurrences of major wins and breakthrough in the body and everything. And so I'm kind of like bashful to say I feel like I needed that, but now I've got it.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
I think, it's like if you're bold enough and gutsy enough to give it a try, you're going to get those firsthand testimonies also. Okay, talk to me about prevention versus just recovery. So, I've got some people that play sports here that watch some of these videos, have some injuries, rolled some ankles, maybe even torn some stuff, and so we pitch it as a good recovery, like it can help you heal. But what about prevention when you haven't had? You're still young, you're still youthful. What about prevention with these things?
Well, okay. So on that real quick, we have multiple players that won the Super Bowl last year that are wearing X39. UFC, we have UFC fighters, we have professional athletes, we have Olympians. So to your point, like these guys, they're after optimal health, right? And that's what they're doing. But yeah, as far as prevention too. So, it's funny, people will ask, well, hey, I'm only 18 or I'm only 22, maybe my stem cells per se are not necessarily as dormant as the next guy. And everyone that I talk to about that and at that age, after they've been on it for a little while, they're like, man, I got crazy energy and I'm sleeping like crazy good, but that's all I noticed so far. And I tell one of them, I said, Do you know how much money people pay to have crazy energy and sleep really good? Like, I mean, hello, caffeine, where I don't have
Right.
caffeine, but wherever caffeine is. And so, yes, it is because it's an overall, listen, this is what Dr. Schmidt says, and this is in his patent, actually. It's not anti-aging, it's truly age reversal.
Yeah, that's
It's
wild.
literally age reversal. So we have people taking off their readers after wearing readers for decades. We have, Chris, right when the test that we've shown is that it balances and rebalances your brain within 6 weeks of putting it on. Your heart physically, cardiovascularly, muscularly is stronger within 6 months. Again, this is all proven through the patent, right? They say drink red wine every now and then because it's good for you, which I don't know that I buy that, but that's what they say because you know why? Because two cells are activated when you do that. 4,000 cells come alive and are activated within 24 hours of wearing this patch. And so, I mean, yes, you want overall health. You want the best health you've ever been in, inside and out. This is it.
Right, right. Yeah, and what blows me away too is that it's all non-transdermal, meaning nothing in the patch is absorbed into the skin. So it's using your God-given supplies in your body to put the right signaling in place to do what your body was originally meant to do in its youth. And so you're kind of returning to youth. And what's amazing is that, like, back to the sleep thing or the energy thing, all of these drugs, I mean, you can't watch a television program and not see some kind of a drug commercial. And so here's the leading, drug out there, Ambulin or whatever it is for not sleeping well or something. And then here's a laundry list of, but your liver and but your heart and but your kidney. And it might
may cause death.
it may, that's right. You may grow a third arm and it might be purple. So watch out, but you're going to get your sleep taken care of. And so
Yeah.
those things, those still are flying off the shelf. I mean, people are so desperate for sleep relief or for energy pick you up that's not caffeine or amphetamines. And so it's almost like, yeah, that evil that comes with it is worth it to me to get the relief. And so if we're talking about something that not only can do as well, but maybe better than what some of these leading drugs can do, and not have 18 side effects, then to me, that is enormous. It's huge because you're not putting anything in your body. And I feel like that's one of the hardest things for people to jump as far as a hurdle goes to believe. It's like,
Yeah.
I was on the phone with a lady a couple nights ago, and she said, well, my husband's a stroke patient. Is it okay that he uses that because he's already had a stroke? And I'm thinking, yeah, your blood vessels are going to be stronger, as your collagen is increased, which I think is at the 3-month mark or something. And it's
That's
like,
right.
not only is it okay, it's for you. It was created for your husband's situation. I mean, this is opening doors that people didn't even know the door existed. Not
Yep.
regardless of even opening the door. So I'm pumped about it. I'm so glad to hear from you about it. If somebody were to say, hey, I want to give this a shot, I want to give this a try. And I know one guy in the company says he thinks people's health is related to their poor wealth situation and high stress levels. And
Yep.
that's one of the reasons why they're not sleeping well, is because they're so concerned with money. There's obviously an opportunity here to be a passer outer of the patches. Tell me a little bit about why that maybe makes some sense.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, statistics will show in our studies that 80% of people will feel something in 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 weeks. But 97% of people will feel something so significant they will have a testimony after 90 days. And so I would just encourage everybody on here, listen, however long we're going to be alive, whatever it is, give yourself a 90-day shot at this. It's worth it. Because if you're one of the 97 percentile of people, right, that have a major result to a form of testimony, y'all, you don't even understand what you're going to look like in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, right? And how it's really going to help. But yeah, Chris, here's the thing. I mean, when you have a patented product, no one can get it anywhere else.
Yep.
And right now we're on early stages of momentum. And so the people that are in this company, in this organization that are sharing or being a passer outer of the patch, they're building the business.
Yeah.
And guys, I was telling somebody the other day, when you eat at a fantastic new restaurant in your town, what do? You tell everybody about it,
Right.
Or when whatever it is,
You
And
become
so
the world's
same thing
biggest
is true.
evangelist for that thing. Yeah.
Absolutely, right? And so even true here, when something changes your health so dramatically, you're going to share. And so yes, there's a tremendous amount of opportunity helping people get well and helping their wealth. You're exactly right. I think that health is the ultimate wealth. And I think if you don't have that, it's hard to create anything else. But once you have that, you can, Zig Ziglar, one of the guys that I listened to a lot early in my life, says you can get anything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. And
Hmm.
so it's a beautiful model of all you're doing is helping people. And if you can help people get what they want both health wise and maybe even financially, you never worry about what you want. And so we wake up every day and we just try to pour into people, help them feel better, help them live better, in every way. And so
Yeah,
it's an incredible business model.
it really is the it's servant leadership, and
Yes.
it's the highest model from what Christ showed us, and it's indirect. It's like, when did I arrive to the mountaintop? I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to go to the mountaintop. I was actually just had my head on a swivel and was helping people. And then you look up one day and you're like, somewhere along the lines, I arrived to this place of fulfillment in my life. And that's just that's worth journeying towards. And I feel like this is a great tool
Amen. Yeah.
to move in that direction.
Amen.
One more question that I could have asked a minute ago, but I just thought of it. I know uh, that studies were not conducted for minors with
Mhm.
the patch, as far as the
Right.
patent goes, and the clinicians observing this and saying, yep, it does what it says it does. Um, why would it be okay, or would it be okay, in your opinion, for, say, a middle schooler who's got, a sore groin or something? He injured it. What would he do? What would his parents do when it comes to this technology? What would be a wise
Sure.
move?
Yeah, so the FDA says if you're not, approved by us, which is a food or a drug, right? Then you just register. So we are registered with the FDA, but we can't be approved because we're categorized as a general wellness product. So that being said, what we have to say is it's up to you. It's up to every individual. So I'll tell you what me and Joe do, Chris. Ryder, my son who's 13, immediately wanted to get on this patch, and we're like, great, get on it. Paisley's like, I don't really care. We're like, okay, you get on it, you don't. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Here's something little just from them is they were both born with, and I don't even know what it's called. I'm sure there's a medical term, with bumps all over their skin on one side of their body, like very, very bumpy, abnormally. You would rub their arm and go, man, that's so weird.
Wow.
Ryder's been on the patch, Chris, for 10 days. And last night, actually 2 nights ago, Joe was sitting there rubbing him and she's like, oh my gosh, take your shirt off. She started rubbing everywhere. Gone.
That is
Completely gone.
wild.
We know we have firsthand stories of kiddos that have struggled with feeling very anxious, or feeling very hyper, or having some sort of skin issue that have seen remarkable results. So yes, our good friends, Devin and Sarah, they have 3 young kids. They're all patched every day, and our kids are as well. That's for us. Everybody makes their own decisions,
Yep.
but yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Well, good. That's helpful to hear, and that's kind of been the direction we've leaned. Having 4 active boys, obviously they're all
Yep.
over this channel, and shoot them all the time playing their sports, and so I'm excited to have that as a tool and a resource, especially going on. I was at a football camp this morning at Hayes High School. I was watching my oldest out there, and he was limping and doing
Mm.
his running, and he was limping. And so anyway, I asked him afterwards when I picked him up. I said, "Why were you limping?" And he said, "My patella on my knee is just so sore on my right knee, because I don't know that I tweaked it, don't know that I did anything to it, but and I'm crossing my fingers that it's because he's growing, because he's
Yeah.
obviously vertically limited like the rest of us. But so it could be some growing pains, but nevertheless, even if it is, I'm thinking we're going to give this thing a go and see if he doesn't feel better, because he's got obviously a lot more camp left this summer, and doesn't
Yeah.
need to be limping around while he's vying for a position. So." um,
Exactly. Oh yeah. That'll be a cool testimony.
I know. So there's lots. I mean, I feel like you're never at a loss of things to observe and to try when it comes to something like this.
That's
We've
right.
all got something, whether it's our energy, our sleep, our skin. My wife's always telling me, "Babe, your crow's feet around your eyes, they're getting severe." I'm 42 this year, and I'm 43 actually this year. I'm 42 right now, and she's like, "I feel like it's too much premature," and I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do about it?" And I'm like, "Wait a second, I may know what to do about it." So
Let's see if we can reverse this.
that's right. That's absolutely right. Well, I took a before photo, and we'll see how my skin's doing after a
I
while.
love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
So,
cool.
well, that's what I wanted to hear from you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom, your insight. I could not be more pumped about this, and so I'll be continuing to run close with you, and give you my updates and things like that. If you are watching this video, if you find it, if you're interested in this, drop me a comment and I will get in touch with you. That'd be the best way to do it. And would love to field any questions you have, and get you some patches, because I think it could be, and this isn't a lightweight word that I use flippantly, I think it could be transformational for your life and for those that you know. So that's what we're expecting and looking for. And Kyle, we will be in touch
I love
and
it.
talk to you soon, man.
All right,
Thank you.
brother. I appreciate you. Thank you.